Okay, let's get into funnel integration in the messy middle. This is a major shift in marketing strategy, and brands are winning and losing during this messy middle. It's a complex stage between awareness and conversion that most marketers overlook, and this is a pretty big mistake. So let's discuss the funnel. All right, so you might remember the classic marketing funnel going from awareness to interest to consideration, eventually to purchase, and then to loyalty, right? So at the top, you're attracting people's attention, raising awareness about your product. In the middle, people are considering their options, and at the bottom, they take action, like signing up, buying, or subscribing. The funnel's been useful for many years, but it assumes that people move in a straight line. Today, that's no longer true. Reality is messier, and we need to pay more attention to what's happening in the middle layers of the funnel. In the mid funnel, people aren't just learning about your brand, they're thinking about it. They're weighing pros and cons, asking questions like, do I trust the company? Or what makes this brand different from other brands? This is where high value content can help. Case studies, testimonials, white papers, even helpful explainer videos are assets that all build trust and can help differentiate your brand. Google's research shows that modern buyers don't just move down a funnel, they bounce back and forth in the messy middle. The messy middle is where most buyers spend their time, looping between researching options and comparing details. It can be confusing, dynamic, and powerful. These customers explore options and then evaluate them, then they loop again. The cycle repeats itself several times before they make a decision. It can be chaotic, emotional, and heavily influenced by bias, branding, and usability. So let's talk about some of the cognitive biases that drive people's decisions. People don't make decisions rationally all the time. As a matter of fact, we hardly ever make rational decisions. Cognitive shortcuts, called cognitive biases, help consumers evaluate their options and come to decisions. Smart marketers can use these biases in their messaging, user interface, and even in their content. So let's talk about some of these mental shortcuts that we can use to help people make decisions. One example of a cognitive bias is category heuristics. This is where people use simple specs to quickly judge a product without deeper comparison. So you might look at the power of a motor to judge a product without thinking anything deeper about it. So this 900-watt motor has more watts than the 750-watt motor, so it must be better. But is it? So people use these heuristics and things to simplify their decision. Another example of that might be like gas mileage on a car. Right? This car gets 40 miles to the gallon versus this car getting 20 miles to the gallon. You're getting people to compare on very simple category heuristics. Then there's power of immediacy. Immediacy is about faster delivery. It increases in fuel, like when you choose Amazon Prime shipping over a cheaper, slower option. So if you can get it now or today, that's a big deal for some people. Social proof plays a major role. People trust products with thousands of 5-star reviews, even if they've never heard of the brand. Scarcity bias creates urgencies. Things like only 2 left in stock, push people buy now. I know when I'm clicking on Amazon and there's only 1 left, I'm usually not waiting around. I'm going ahead and making that decision. Volkswagen has its get it before it's gone sales event, right? Where they really play the scarcity. Things are going to run out soon. Authority bias is about having endorsements from experts or seals of approval, like dentist recommended. These authorities can make products seem more credible, and people tend to lend more of their decision making over to an authority figure when they see it. So having some authorities in the case can make a big deal. There's also reciprocity, which is one of the last biases we'll discuss. Reciprocity is like meaning when somebody does something for you, you feel the need to do something back. So if a customer receives a free trial or a sample, they're more likely to return the favor by making a purchase. Now, these biases are powerful tools that marketers can use, hopefully ethically, to guide consumers through uncertainty and toward confident decisions. So how do you win in the messy middle? Well, most companies focus more on the awareness and the purchase phase of the funnel than the middle of the funnel. It opens up big opportunities for businesses to set themselves apart in the middle of the funnel. You have to remember that buyers aren't always rational. You can guide them with helpful, well-placed content and design choices. Google's research found that even small changes, like making product specs easier to compare, can influence decisions. You should use these biases ethically. Like if you're using authority bias, make sure you're using credible experts. For social proof, make sure that you're using genuine reviews, right? You want to talk about followers who are actually following you. In category heuristics, you want to have simple but relevant product information for people to make decisions based on. If you can highlight credible voices, make your experience a little bit more intuitive and be helpful at every step, you'll be much more successful than companies that ignore the messy middle. Finally, I want to talk about Lippincot's framework from one of the articles. This framework for winning the mid funnel is built around 5 C's: context, conversation, collaboration, culture, and constant. Context is about creating valuable, search-friendly content that answers real customer questions. Conversation involves sparking authentic dialogue on platforms like Reddit or social media. Collaboration is about linking with other trusted sources to boost credibility. Culture reminds us to align with our audience's values and worldview. And constant means regularly updating content to stay relevant in a fast-moving market. These 5 elements can help brands earn trust and more engagement where it matters most between the awareness and purchase phases. These 5 C's help you stay relevant in the messy middle and drive search, engagement, and loyalty. Really, what it all ends up is being about, what all ends up being about is being useful and showing up. All right, that's it for today. Enjoy the rest of y'all's week.